Okay, so we're reached step 7 and we're gonna set up a pivot table. So the net revenue will be added to the value field. Also the date, the transaction date here, we added when you add it, because we have date, month, day, month, and a year, you can see the 3 of them listed. However, it's asking for you to group the by year, quarter, and month as a row. So we just need to right click here on the pivot table where we have the date, click on group and choose year, month, uncheck days. So this is by years, quarter, and months, and that will do the grouping for you as a row. And the payment type, it will move to the column here to show the payment type for each different payment type, and the net revenue for each payment type. On moving forward, so let me see, make sure the column, use the club member field as the report filter. So the club member here, we can use it to as a filter. As you can see, it's added here, club member yes and no, and only show the data for club members, so meaning filter this to yes and choose yes, filter by choosing only. This is only showing data for filtered club members, and that's step 7. Okay, we're gonna make more of the pivot table commodification, so to make it more user friendly by providing more insight into the data through various configuration that we can do. So create a custom name. It says now it's the sum of the net revenue. We want to change it to total net revenue. Okay, so change that into total. Oops. As you can see, I just typed here total net space, should be space revenue. Okay, now just change the value field title into this different title, and custom, so create the total net revenue custom name for that, and we did that, and format the field into accounting with 2 decimal, and that's how I just modified that value field. In cell A4, again, instead of using row label generic, just we're going to show the quarters by year. Just take space here. Okay, and the column payment types. Payment type. Different payment type. So we can have, you can see this is cash, card, Apple Pay, and here this is for quarters by year. And we change the pivot table so that this shows the total net revenue in percentage of the grand total. Okay, so we're going to show that in percentage, and you can do that if you click on the design. Actually no, we can do that from here. Show values at percentage of the grand total. Okay, and just again, just in case, because my screen was flickering a little bit, so you click on the value setting, show values as, and here show values as with no calculation, change it to the percentage of the grand total. So it's the percentage of the grand total, showing that, as you can see how it's reflecting that on the table. Also apply the white pivot table light 23 to that, so it's it is we choose one of these light pivot table that matches this configuration. Okay, so that's that is gonna be 1, 2, 3, row number 4, column number 3, this one. Okay, and that would be it for step 8. Step 9, we are going to add a filter as a slicer, and click on the pivot table and click on the insert. We're going to choose a filter, a slicer as a filter, and choose employee ID as a filter type, and move it to this position so it's next to the table, and change the slicer caption. Now it's showing employee-ID to employee. Okay, and also going to change the style so it to apply slice, white slice style, dark. I just make sure I modify. Okay, white slicer other 2. This one. Okay, and try to eliminate all this white space as much as possible. Okay. And it's only select employee 00024. You can see that's I applied the filter and showing only the information for this. Step 10 is the last step before the last, where we modified the table by adding a record. So I'm going to just do that, going back to the table and add a new record to the table. After that, we can modify or refresh the pivot table because it's connected. So I'm going to go to the sales and add a new record. Just type exactly the record information here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, and the item ID. And it will be card quantity 3. It's 98.85. And here's only the net is 95. And the discount is 0. So now after adding this new record, you can go back to the pivot table and refresh it. So pivot table analysis tab and refresh it, so it will refresh and reflect the changes that you just made on your pivot table. If any changes will take effect. So asking here to drill down of December 2024 Apple Pay transactions onto a new worksheet. So when we do the process of it's a method in the pivot table to drill down details. Okay, show details. So looking at December, this is December 2025, meaning this net, total net, because this is a summary. I want to see the details, so just double click here on this amount. It will show that in a new worksheet. Drilling down, there's only one transaction on that, so in December 2025, and show that in this record. And we're gonna rename this worksheet into Apple Pay transaction. Okay. Alright, so that's it for this step, and one more and last step is inserting a pivot chart.